What do you mean by success? In the early 1900s, Napoleon Hill interviewed Andrew Carnegie for the purpose of writing a story about him. Andrew Carnegie was fabulously wealthy. In present terms, he would be significantly more wealthy than Bill Gates is today. The public library system that we enjoy in North America is his legacy. He personally funded 3,000 different libraries. The Carnegie Corporation, which he founded in 1911, is worth $3 billion today and still distributes $100 million annually. This is just one of the many charitable organizations that Carnegie founded with his wealth. Carnegie never finished grade school. In all of his writings for the rest of his life, Napoleon Hill continually refers to that conversation with Andrew Carnegie as the source for all that he wrote. During the interview, Hill asked him to what he contributed his success. With a merry little twinkle in his eyes, he said, "Young man, before I answer your question, will you please define your term success?" After waiting until he saw that Hill was somewhat embarrassed by his request, he continued, "By success you have reference to my money, have you not?" Hill assured him that money was the term by which most people measure success, and he then said, "Oh well, if you wish to know how I got my money, if that is what you call success, I will answer your question by saying that we have a mastermind here in our business, and that mind is made up of more than a score of men who constitute my personal staff of superintendents and managers and accountants and chemists and other necessary types. No one person in this group is the mastermind of which I speak, but the sum total of minds in the group, coordinated, organized, and directed to a definite aim in a spirit of harmonious cooperation, is the power that got my money for me. No two minds in the group are exactly alike, but each man in the group does the thing that he is supposed to do, and he does it better than any other person in the world could do it." Hill heard all that Mr. Carnegie said, but it took the knowledge gained from many years of subsequent contact with the business world to enable him to assimilate that which he said, and said clearly, grasp and understand the principle back of it, which was nothing more or less than the principle of organized effort upon which this course on the law of success is founded. Carnegie's group of men constituted a mastermind, and that mind was so well organized, so well coordinated, so powerful that it could have been accumulated millions of dollars for Mr. Carnegie in practically any sort of endeavor of a commercial and industrial nature. The steel business in which that mind was engaged was but an incident in connection with the accumulation of the Carnegie wealth. The same wealth could have been accumulated had the mastermind been directed in the coal business or the banking business or the grocery business, for the reason that back of the mind was power, that sort of power which may have when you shall have organized the faculties of your own mind and allied yourself with other well-organized minds for the attainment of a definite chief aim in life. A careful checkup with several of Mr. Carnegie's former business associates, which was made after this course was begun, proves conclusively not only that there is such a law as that which has been called the mastermind, but that this law was the chief source of Mr. Carnegie's success. Perhaps no man ever associated with Mr. Carnegie who knew him better than did Mr. C. M. Schwab. In the following words, Mr. Schwab has very accurately described that subtle something in Mr. Carnegie's personality which enabled him to rise to such stupendous heights. "I never knew a man with so much imagination, lively intelligence, and instinctive comprehension. You sensed that he probed your thoughts and took stock of everything that you had ever done or might do. He seemed to catch at your next word before it was spoken. The play of his mind was dazzling, and his habit of close observation gave him a store of knowledge about innumerable matters. But his outstanding quality, from so rich an endowment, was the power of inspiring other men. Confidence radiated from him. You might be doubtful about something and discuss the matter with Mr. Carnegie. In a flash he would make you see that it was right and then absolutely believe in it, or he might settle your doubts by pointing out its weaknesses. This quality of attracting others, then in spurring them on, arose from his own strength. The results of his leadership were remarkable. Never before in history of industry, I imagine, was there a man who, without understanding his business in its working details, making no pretense of technical knowledge concerning steel and engineering, was yet able to build up such an enterprise. Mr. Carnegie's ability to inspire men rested on something deeper than any faculty of judgment. In the last sentence, Mr. Schwab has conveyed a thought which corroborates the theory of the mastermind to which the author of this course has attributed the chief source of Mr. Carnegie's power. Mr. Schwab has also confirmed the statement that Mr. Carnegie could have succeeded as well as any other business as he did in the steel business. It is obvious that his success was due to his understanding of his own mind and the minds of other men, and not to mere knowledge of the steel business itself. This thought is most consoling to those who have not yet attained outstanding success, for it shows that success is solely a matter of correctly applying laws and principles which are available to all, and these laws, let us not forget, are fully described in the 16 lessons of this course. Mr. Carnegie learned how to apply the law of the mastermind. This enabled him to organize the faculties of his own mind and the faculties of other men and coordinate the whole behind a definite chief aim. Every strategist, whether in business or war or industry or other callings, understands the value of organized, coordinated effort. Every military strategist understands the value of sowing seeds of dissension in the ranks of the opposing forces, because this breaks up the power of coordination back of the opposition. During the late World War, much was heard about the effects of propaganda. And it seems not an exaggeration to say that the disorganizing forces of propaganda were much more destructive than were all the guns and explosives used in the war. Any modern railroad bridge is an excellent example of the value of organized effort, because it demonstrates quite simply and clearly how thousands of tons of weight may be borne by a comparative small group of steel bars and beams so arranged that the weight is spread across the entire group. There was a man who had 7 sons who were always quarreling among themselves. One day he called them together and informed them that he wished to demonstrate just what their lack of cooperative effort meant. He had prepared a bundle of 7 sticks which he carefully tied together. One by one he asked the sons to take the bundle and break it. Each son tried, but in vain. Then he cut the strings and handed one of the sticks to each of his sons and asked them to break it over his knee. After all the sticks had been broken with ease, he said, "When you boys work together in a spirit of harmony, you resemble the bundle of sticks, and no one can defeat you. But when you quarrel among yourselves, anyone can defeat you, one at a time." There is a worthwhile lesson in the story of the man and his 7 quarrelsome sons, and it may be applied to the people of a community, the employees and the employers in a given place of employment, or to the state and nation in which we live. The internet is another example of the organized effort on behalf of many different people. It would be impossible for one company or organization to connect so many different people and companies around the globe. However, through a set of organized communication standards and the agreement to pass on messages, the entire internet runs. Imagine if for a moment some percentage of companies instantly became unavailable. The internet would slow down temporarily, but the organized effort of the remaining people would overcome it, and the internet would remain. Organized effort may be made a power, but it may also be a dangerous power unless guided with intelligence, which is a chief reason why the 16th lesson of this course is devoted largely to describing how to direct the power of organized effort so it will lead to success. That sort of success which is founded upon truth and justice and fairness that lead to ultimate happiness. One of the outstanding tragedies of this age of struggle and money madness is the fact that so few people are engaged in the effort which they like best. One of the objects of this course is to help each student find his or her particular niche in the world's work, where both material prosperity and happiness in abundance may be found. For this purpose, several assignments accompany the different lessons. These assignments are designed to help the student take inventory of himself and find out what latent ability and hidden forces lie sleeping within him. This entire course is intended as a stimulus with which to enable you to see yourself and your hidden forces as they are, and to awaken in you the ambition and the vision and the determination to cause you to go forth and claim that which is rightfully yours. In 1900, a man was working in the same shop with Henry Ford, doing practically the same sort of work that he was doing. It has been said that this man was really a more competent workman, and in that particular sort of work, than Ford. 30 years later, that man was still engaged in the same sort of work at wages of less than $100 a week, while Mr. Ford was the world's richest man. The outstanding difference is there between these two men, which has so widely separated them in terms of material wealth. Just this: Ford understood and applied the principle of organized effort, while the other man did not.